I'm on this show today because my husband, Daquan, was accused of child molestation. On Friday, there was 100 posters all over the neighborhood saying that my husband's a child molester, has his address on it, his family members' information, a fake case number, and everything. And the pictures was everywhere, about like 6 blocks, and it was on top of buildings, it was on poles, it was given out to people in the neighborhood, it was on the store, it was everywhere. He's never been accused of anything like this ever. And I know this is not true because I've been around his children for a couple of years now and I never had any feeling of that ever.
What's going through your head? Why you
I just need a second. It hurts me because I know he's not that person. And then it's like I have a whole son with him. So for somebody to like do that to him, it hurts me a lot, especially because it's somebody like my relatives and all that. We just got back together and my family like doesn't want us together. Like they don't want me to be with him and stuff like that. This is not the first time that they like harass him or anything like that. And I know it was relatives of mine because I actually seen with my own eyes and there's footage from the store camera. It's an evil accusation and it also causes him harm. The neighbors, like older people in the street is looking like, you know, at us crazy and stuff like that, and that puts him at risk. He works with kids, he works in a school building, so that causes him harm as well. If my husband fails this lie detector test, a conversation is needed. I cannot see myself with a child molester, but I know my husband is not that type of person. I know what type of person he is. I never had like a really good relationship with certain people in my family, so I know what type of person people they are, which is evil people, and I know like they just keep harassing us, don't stop attacking us in different ways for us not to be together. Like I just want him to clear his name so everybody sees, you know, everybody sees that's not true, to get like a weight off our shoulders.
So Daquan, you wake up one day and, you know, in your neighborhood, in your community, there's hundreds of these flyers.
Correct,
What
Steve.
went through your mind when you saw these?
My heart, it just went to my stomach because I've been a father since I was 16 and I always worked with kids. And I never, ever, ever been accused of nothing like this in my life.
Never been arrested?
I've been arrested.
For this?
Never.
So what happened last Friday? How did you discover these flyers?
I actually was clocking out at work, Steve, and I got a text from my neighbor of a picture of the flyer saying it's everywhere. And we live in a project, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with the projects. It's like thousands, like buildings all together, so it was all over, down blocks and blocks.
Did you call the police? Or?
Yes, the first thing I did was go to the police station and make a harassment report.
And anything happened with
they told me they just wait and they was gonna give me the number to the case in a couple of days.
So did you and your wife go around taking the flyers down?
Yes, me, my wife, my father. We was also with my child. So it just hurt me to have to take these.
How many do you think you pulled down?
Probably like 100, Steve.
Yeah, that's a lot. Do people treat you differently now?
Some people look at me weird, and some people know, because I grew up in that neighborhood since I was little. So some people know it's not true, or some people still look at me different.
Who do you think did this?
Honestly, Steve, I feel like her family members, her relatives, did this.
Of your wife?
Of my wife.
And why would her family do this to you?
They've been prejudiced to me. They're 100% Puerto Rican. I'm mixed with black. They always had a problem with that.
That you're black?
Yeah, they always call me Moreno, and like that's like a degrade in a Spanish way, and they never liked me because of that. Also, I did step out of my marriage and I had a baby.
Oh, so that,
Yes.
maybe that might be the thing that they're really pissed about.
Yes.
Because they never did anything, even though you got married and maybe they didn't like the fact that you were black, you got married and there was no problems, but now after you had this baby outside your marriage, now these posters went up.
Yes.
Okay. How long ago did that happen?
The baby situation?
Yeah.
That was about 6 months ago.
How'd your wife handle that?
She tried to, she handled it the best way I feel like she can. It wasn't, if she didn't handle it, she didn't take it good at all. No
Well, I
woman-
don't know. A lot of wives
No
don't
wife
would.
would take that good.
My wife is telling me you guys were broke up when this happened?
Yes, that happened. We was separated during the time that
So, well, you were separated and then you slept with somebody else?
Yes, correct,
Okay.
Steve.
But still,
It still was
you're
wrong.
still married.
Yes.
And I imagine at some point you wanted to get back together with your wife?
Yes.
And
When
how
we-
was that like telling your wife, oh, by the way, I had a kid with somebody else?
That was very hard, Steve. It was probably one of the hardest things I had to do.
So how are things between, other than what's going on now with the Fosters, how are things between you and your wife?
It got better.
It got better.
It's gotten better, and ever since we got back together, once we posted that we was back together, that's when the threats came, Steve. I got an anonymous text saying sleep with one eye open. These flyers. It's been a nightmare.
So you came here today because you wanted to take a lie detector test.
Yes.
Because, you know, like you said, you live in an area, the projects, where tons and tons of people are in a very concentrated area. Neighbors, friends, family are all looking at you differently now. And you wanted to come and take a lie detector test and prove that you didn't do this.
Yes.
Okay. Lydia says that she can never go back home if you fail.
I'm not worried about that, Steve, because I know that that's not true at all. At all, at all.
Yeah. And I would imagine that if somebody really wanted to look you up, that you would have some kind of arrest record with
Correct,
this, and
Steve.
that would be, you know.
So it was a fake case number that
But they made it look, the flyer, they made it look real
they made-
professional.
yes, they did.
Like it was a real police,
Yes.
yeah.
I love you,
I love you too.
and I'm sorry that you have to go through all of this.
Me too,
Because
baby.
of something my family did. I feel very guilty about it, and I just want to let you know, like, I trust you and I believe you 100%.
Thank you.
100%.
It means a lot.
I
And
got
I
you.
promise you, I would never put you on a show to embarrass you, ever.
Okay.
I have no worries at all. I'm sorry we both going through this. God got us.
You just said something interesting. You said you feel guilty.
Yes.
Why do you feel guilty?
Because it's my family that
you,
did it.
You believe that your family did it.
Yes, I know.
You know. Why do you say that?
Because there's footage in the bodega camera that's by our house. There's footage of my family members posting it,
Oh,
handing
so
it
a
out,
bodega where they hung it
everything.
up, they had a
Yes.
security camera.
And it's
and
my
you-
family that's passing it out and everything.
Also, Steve, we got the description of the person.
Somebody on
And
my
it's
family.
definitely related to her
Did you
family.
confront that person?
Yes,
And what'd they say?
ignored me. Was
They
laughing and said they didn't do it
Why do you think they did this to you?
because they don't want me to be with him at all.
How long you guys been married?
About 2 years, but we've been together almost 5 years.
Yeah. I know this isn't part of the story. Maybe it is. You guys break up. He has a baby outside the marriage. How did you feel about, you know? what was-
I was very hurt,
yeah.
but I was hurt. But the baby doesn't have anything to do with it. So if I love him, I do gotta accept it. But I did have to take some time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I gotta imagine that's gonna be a little rough. But
Yeah.
if you really love each other, then
I do.
I'm sure you can make it through that.
And I also work with kids, Steve. I'm a custodian. in
So you
private
can lose your job.
Yes, I work as a custodian in a private school, and I've been working in my Williamsburg Community Center since I was 21. I'm 27. I've been working with kids for years. I never got accused of nothing like this in my life.
I mean, personally, I don't think you did it. I think some jackass in her family tried to sandbag you.
Evil,
Yes.
very evil.
Yeah, and I hope they get justice, right? Like, you know,
Yes.
if there's
De-
security
definition
footage,
of character.
I hope that they arrest this person and the little justice is served. Well, let's find out. All right, Daquan, you came here, took a lie detector test, and we asked you, Have you ever engaged in any inappropriate sexual behaviors with any minor child for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. Have you ever touched, fondled, or rubbed your child for your own sexual gratification? You answered no. Results came back the same to those questions, and it came back that Daquan told the truth.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
You know, when you go back home, I don't know when this show's going to air, but I'm sure our producer's going to let you know. We are on PIX in New York, so I hope all the people in New York are tuned into PIX that day to watch you so they know that you passed this test and that you cleared your name and that you don't have to put up with this.
Thank you,
I'm very happy and ecstatic, and I'm happy for him because he got weight off his shoulders. But I didn't doubt him at all. I knew it was gonna be like this. I knew the results were gonna be the way it was.
I feel like this, for our marriage, it definitely helps us because now, like, my name is cleared. She don't gotta feel uncomfortable, like, about rumors or anything. She know for a fact that it's not true now. So I think, you know, honesty is the best policy. So anytime the truth is out, it only could get better.
And what doesn't break us make us stronger.
I just want them to pay. I just want them to pay for what they did. I just want justice. Yeah, I just want
my family to know that they dead to us. They've been non-existent, and they're gonna say non-existent.
It's just sad because now my son, he's the one that's gonna be hurting the most because he's never gonna know his mother's side, and that's because of them, though. So I can still sleep good at night because I know I was willing to try to have that relationship, but they demolished it.
I called you, Steve, for help because I watch your show all the time.
Somebody's going to watch this and say, you know what, she was brave enough to do that, I can do that too. Do you want to tell your story on the Steve Wilkos Show? Visit the link in the description to get my help.